Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I'll.
So do I need to launch ScreenFlow as well? Don't I? Is that right? Just to.
You can. I have it going as well right now. Why don't we both just as a backup?
Yeah. There's no harm in that, is there?
Nope.
Okay. Yes. Recording is already in progress. Hang on. What's that? Surely. Okay. I suddenly wondered if.
You can close it and throw that away. It's been going
All I
on.
meant was. Yeah. I suddenly thought, has it been running since last time we spoke?
Long
It
time.
sits in the background.
Yeah, I know.
It just sits in the background doing things, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
you never quite know. Right, phone's on mute. None of these things are going to interrupt me. I think that's all. Right, so, yes, Fred.
Okay, so I'll introduce again here just briefly. Okay, I'm back with Karl Blanks, who is the CEO of conversion-rate-experts.com, and we're going to go over some specific sites to give you some insights into what we talked about earlier. So, Karl, please take it away.
Hi, Fred. So the first one you wanted me to look at is fredgleeck.com.
There couldn't be any selfish motivation there at all, could there?
Vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
That's an amazing coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing, I guess, is if you let me know where your visitors are coming from, how they're finding you, what they're looking for, what their kind of mindset is when they arrive, what they're looking for, and what you'd like them to do, I guess. They're the first thing.
I'm already nervous given the question. I would say that the vast majority of visitors find me via a Google search. I don't know who they are. I think that they have generally put in a number of keywords that I rank very highly for, including information marketing, selling info products, information products, and a few others that are similarly related to those kinds of keywords. There may also be people who have heard about me through other means and may have just typed my site name in directly.
Yes. Yeah. Got it.
I would say those are.
Makes up most of your visitors, would you say?
It does.
Fantastic. And as far as I asked about visitor intention, I guess that's those keywords reveal what they're looking for. They're looking for information on information marketing and mainly information marketing, would you say?
Correct.
Great. Do you know? Actually, the next question then is when they arrive at your site, what would you ideally like them to do?
My ideal, I would be happy if no one bought anything when they first got here, meaning to say, I want to capture their email address. That's my primary goal.
Good. So, and I'd agree that definitely being able to, that's exactly what I would have suggested, even if you hadn't said that, and I knew you would. So US and your best, and this overlay here, option 1, tell your brain power, click here to buy the book. Option 2, in 6.5 days, you'll have your own information products business up and running and making money seriously.
Now,
so that's segmenting them by.
Actually, this is maybe hurting what my intended purpose is. The first thing here is I think, well, number one, if I get a couple of book sales, that's great. But I think it also sort of gives me credibility right off the bat by showing them that I've written this book that's related to the topic. And option 2 is that's a link to my week-long boot camp here in Las Vegas. And so I think that if they're sort of, I'm thinking there might be two types of people: someone who's willing to spend $20 and someone who's willing to spend $3,000. So you're immediately presented with, if you clicked on either of those, the one would go to Amazon to have you buy the book. The other would go to the fredinfobootcamp.com site where people would learn more about the 1 week event here.
Got it. Yes, yes. So the two, you want them to either is it to buy the book or to buy the book? Yes.
Well, I think it's buy the book or just merely establish credibility as being the writer of a book related to the topic.
Yes, yes. Fantastic. And as with so much of this, yeah, you're the authority on information marketing. So this there'll be sites this will be more difficult to work on than a lot of sites, because you are already very established with this. I'd say that one of the first things is, do you split test on your site?
I've done occasional split testing, but I haven't with this, for example, presenting them with different pop-ups. No, I have not.
No, and I'd say that would be important in that this is every visitor who arrives is seeing this message. So as far as like importance of all your content that you've created, then this overlay is your most important content. So I'd say if you were to split test anything, it would be this overlay, because this is the thing that no matter what, anyone who arrives at your homepage is seeing this before they see anything else. So I'd say that, yeah, this is your most important content, and split testing it would be, yeah, this will be the top thing to split test, I imagine, because everyone, is that right? Does everyone see it regardless of which page they arrive at?
Yes.
Yes. So this is, let's stick with this at the moment then. The book is great in terms of selling, promoting your expertise in this subject. I'm slightly embarrassed to say I didn't notice that it was your book until several seconds into it.
Yeah.
Because I saw Sell Your Brain Power, click here to buy the book, click here to find out now, and then I've not noticed that your name was up there. Click here to buy the book, as far as an offer, is, I think, actually, you know what it is, Fred? It kind of contradicts what you said, just as what your main goal is, doesn't it?
Yep.
Your main goal isn't to make $10. It's to capture the lead. So I think if you change that offer to, if you change the offer to, rather than saying option one, if it says something like, it's not a one-time offer, is it? So you can't say that. But something along the lines of, I think the first thing you want to say to anyone arriving at the site is what's kind of I mentioned on the last call about the copy that makes them think, hey, that's me. So if you say, I'll write what I'm trying to say rather than the actual wording here, so you get the idea. So do you have expertise? No.
So basically, you're trying to.
Would you like to make money from your? Would you like to make money from your knowledge?
From what you know right now.
From what you know, yeah. And then another thing that would make people put their hands up is say, are you interested in discovering how? Actually, how would you word it? Basically, are you interested in discovering how you could make a healthy, a wealthy, successful career in information marketing?
Yeah.
How you could start information marketing. So you want to say something with that message, and then I think they should also, are you already successful information marketer and want to discover how to increase I guess they're the three kind of visitor intentions I imagine you have, and even though that's not the wording I would use, and without looking, I'd look through your site to see how you kind of your tone of voice, but they're the three things that you want to say first, I think.
Yeah.
So that people think, yeah, that's me, and maybe, I'll not try to actually do the wording of them there, but I think that's the first thing. So people arrive and they think, wow, I'm at the right place here, and
so you might split that, test that as the overlay.
I think that should be the first content that people see should be that. It should be something that makes people think, right, I'm in the right place. Yes, this looks interesting. And then you obviously need a way of tying that in with your credibility, because you can't even see the king of content thing very well here, or who you are.
Yep.
So some way of establishing. I don't quite know in this. I'd need to look around your site to see what the quickest way is of establishing credibility, so that people immediately think, wow, I'm in the, this guy's a world expert. This guy, this is the right place. So that maybe pick between these, because there's quite a lot of words there, and find a way of boiling that down. But that's the next thing you've got to say is to get people to realise that, to say, yeah, this is exactly, I'm in the right place here. And then what you want is the quickest way, the quickest incentive, the quickest carrot in order to get them to give you their email addresses. So I would suggest that rather than click here to buy the book, it should be a free sample. Get a free sample of my instant download, free sample. And again, I'm not saying this is the copy. I'm saying this is the
Although
this is the intention.
Karl, if you close the popover, what I really want them to do is the next step, which is if you close the popover, let me show you what I'm trying to get them to do.
And then I'd also say, are you sure that you actually want people to be clicking on finding out about the seminar here? Because even though this is segmenting between low value and high value customers, it's not clear. In 6.5 days, you'll have your own information products business up and running and making money seriously. Then when I click on that, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a high value prospect. Are you potentially like going for marriage there?
Yeah.
Rather than just going for a first date.
Yeah.
I don't know what's beyond there. Maybe I should be clicking on these.
Well, yeah. If you click it goes to the Fred Info Bootcamp site, and it's that's then pitches them on the bootcamp.
And are you happy doing that, even at the point when you don't even have their email address?
Yeah, I think that's a little premature. You're right.
So I suspect this. Yeah, I suspect that this is, in a funny kind of way, killing the conversion.
It's auto start too.
That's killing the conversion straight away, because someone clicks on that, it's not a one-step sale, that is it? So I think I'd be tempted to get rid of this option 2 straight away and leave that for later in your funnel once people.
Or maybe it's a pop-up on exit, potentially.
Maybe, or even just, let's think, or even saving it for after someone, once you've got someone's contact details, or.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you were right when you said, you really need to focus on gathering, collecting the lead first, and then everything else can wait. So I'd say your main goal is to list build, it's to get the qualified prospects. And then also to give them something that's so valuable that they'll come back as well.
Well, this is what if you close just click in the close window. What I really want them to do after you close that is to go to if you go back to the site there, I'll show you.
Sorry, oh, I'm just going to write a little note here. Extremely attractive.
Well, that's what it is. What the extremely attractive caret is when you close it. I have both an extremely valuable and attractive caret that is hidden behind the that red free information marketing training is what I really want them to click on. In the browser there. I'm sorry, in the down below products and consulting, free information marketing training in red.
Oh, there, yes, got it, yeah.
That's where I really want them to go. So if you click on that, this is what I really want them to do because I both capture their email address and I give them a lot of value there.
Okay, and how many people, have you thought of, do you know Crazy Egg, for example? CrazyEgg.com. Have you considered using Crazy Egg to see what percentage of people actually do click on that?
No, I haven't. What would Crazy Egg do for me?
Crazy Egg would give you, actually I should just go to a client of ours now. We've been using them for years, but it would give you a heat map like that one, which would show you where everyone's clicking on that page.
And what's the cost of the service, just so we know?
Let me just see.
Pricing.
We might even be experimenting with pricing at the moment.
Right.
There's a free trial, and it's nine at the moment. It's $9 a month billed annually, which is, but there's a free trial as well. So it depends. Yeah, basically it depends how long you use it for. If it's a 30-day free trial followed by the link, so it depends how long you'd. Assuming you use it, assuming you use it on a continuing basis, then it would cost $9 a month.
Ah, and that shows me the where they're looking.
And that shows you exactly. It shows you where they're clicking, not where they're looking. It shows you where they're clicking on the page.
Right.
I think that's important. What it would show you almost certainly is that this free information marketing training isn't anything like as prominent as it should be.
Yeah.
If you want most people clicking on there, then that should be. You could argue, and I'll open that up in a different tab. You could argue that should be the landing page that they're arriving at. So if that's where people arrive on the homepage and you want them to click on that, then what else on the homepage do you want them to see before they click on that? Because the easiest way to get 100% click-through is to redirect the page to that one.
Will that hurt my SEO stuff?
I'd need to know about your keywords. I mean, there's lots of keywords on here. No, I'm not saying literally redirect. I'm saying that by putting this content on the homepage, if that's what you want people to be looking at next, then if you want people to be basically going to this email address bar and clicking here, then that's the best way to do it. Is to put that actually on the homepage, and to let this occupy. I think the homepage should be a sales letter for this content.
Homepage sales letter for this content.
That's right. This effectively is what you're saying. You want when people arrive at your site, you want them to click on. You want them to sign up here. Don't use that domain.
Yes.
You want them to do.
Yes.
So effectively, I'd say this content should be on your homepage, and your homepage should be a sales letter for this content, for this email squeeze. And the next thing, once you've got to that point, let's assume this content was on the homepage, or at least this area was somewhere on the homepage and prominent. Then you want to know why people aren't signing up for it. Actually, I'll just find an example of. Yeah, you'll like this, Fred, because did I show you this before? This is exactly relevant to your squeeze page. This works so well.
I think you
on this page here, which is our squeeze page. I showed you the Koala Roo
Yeah.
feedback form. Any second now, that should pop up, and that if it's running at the moment, yes, it is. Did you decide to ... Please let us know why or why not. You can be brutally honest. We love feedback, and if someone says no, then they can give the details, like didn't understand what Fred was offering or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'll get real. You won't be guessing anymore. You'll know exactly why people aren't signing up on this page, and it might be not interested in what you're offering, or can't understand what you're offering, or too much stuff, or whatever people put, you can actually fix that. But the good thing is you don't have to guess. So many copywriters spend their whole lives guessing and just kind of reading copywriting books and then copying and pasting techniques out. And by far the most effective approach is what a real salesperson would do, which would be to actually ask the prospect why they're not taking action and then doing something about that, rather than just kind of randomly throwing copywriting techniques at them.
Yep, I agree. Now,
I think you'll get a load of really good feedback from doing that.
Now, the Koala Roo, how do I get that, and how easy is it to install, and how much does that cost?
Let's see what Koala Roo is.
Just wondering if that's...
As far as ease of installation, Crazy Egg and Koala Roo are really, really easy. Koala Roo here is... Yeah, it says there it takes less than 2 minutes to get it on your site, and that's realistic. It's you sign up, it gives you a little line of code which you just paste near the end of it. It even tells you where to paste it on your page, and then from then on, you can run all the tests from within Koala Roo. You can just design the test. We tested it. A few years ago we timed ourselves to set up a survey, and we managed to log in, create a survey, launch it, and log out in 55 seconds. How quick! Koala Roo is crazily easy to use.
Nice.
Which is why we use it so much. It means that you can, and then what happens is once you've got the code on your site, you can. I'm spoiling the story. That's another side, isn't it? What you can do is then you can think, hang on, you can wait. One morning you might wake up and say, I wonder why no one's downloading those, 6 of the ebooks. I'll stick a survey up. You log into Koala Roo. You can launch the survey from within Koala Roo because the code will already be on this page, on all the pages of your site. And then you can launch the survey from within Koala Roo, and then once you've got enough data, maybe 5 hours later, then you can disable it from within Koala Roo's interface. So you don't actually have, once it's set up on your site, you don't have to actually modify any more code on your site. It's all done from within their control panel.
Nice.
So really, really useful, Koala Roo. You can get, you know what it's like, where you're sitting asking questions about visitors and thinking, I wonder why people aren't doing this, or I wonder what people think of this. Any question that you've got, you can just launch straight away, ask the real visitors, and then you've got the answer often within hours. It's
great. I like it. Will do.
So I'd say there's nothing visually obvious here. I'd put a graphic next to it to save me having to reading what I actually get here. Basically, this page should be a sales letter for why someone should click that submit button. And even submit sounds a little bit dry. It's not obvious on the button what is it instant download and or instant access, or there's no benefit in the button, and it's not really at a glance. If Homer Simpson was looking at this page, what would he immediately spot? Someone with a very, very low attention span, would they immediately spot what they're getting here? So it tracks to hundreds of great videos. Just give us your email address. Yes, we'll send you some email every once in a while for things we might like. We will never share your info. We value privacy as much as we do. To be honest, I'd hide that thread. I'd hide that, not hide it, but I wouldn't have it in the same size as the actual headline with the benefit. That kind of thing people are used to, and you can put it in smaller text beneath the box just as reassurance. But then, I'd say that's the headline. Access hundreds of great videos.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the headline is that bit. The benefit part of that is there, and everything else is certainly less. should be less prominent than the main benefit that people are actually signing up for. And I would have some images or something that shows visually what they're going to get, and then am I right in understanding that if I type in something here, if I submit that, I'll get straight to the videos?
Believe so. Let's see.
Okay, so it's all via the email. So, but either way, the button should be much larger and more prominent. It
Yep.
should explain what the benefit is rather than just access. And just doing those things we've mentioned. So actually, summarising what we've just talked about, I think if you remove the right-hand side of that overlay, if you consider putting if this is really even on the left-hand side, if we turn this into the left-hand, if this occupies your overlay, this
Yep.
offer,
Yep.
the hundreds of videos on info marketing, if you make the call to action more attractive, you put an image that shows some kind of thumbnail of what they'll actually get. If you have a few bullets explaining what they'll, the benefits that they'll get, or basically what it is that explaining what it is that you offer that they even want, and then you put that all in the overlay, then I think you get like a really big increase there, I think.
Well, you'll be the first to know. I'm going to do that almost immediately.
Good, yeah, and do let me know as well, because it's an exciting one. That.
Yeah, absolutely. Good.
I'm using Opera for the first time here. I only downloaded it a few minutes before this call, and I don't know what it's doing. Next, should we go into voiceover training?
Yes, please. Thank you. That's good on mine.
Fantastic. So voiceover training with Bill Dewey's. Do we know? Is Bill? I'm assuming he's not famous, but is he famous?
He's famous to a very small number of people. He's not famous more in the global sense.
Got it. Okay. Yes. And actually, no, I've just seen Bill's client. What I was going to suggest, which is, it's nice for the header of a site to contain all of the all of the credibility elements, but key credibility elements, because then wherever someone arrives, then they see it. Yeah, voiceover training with Bill Dewey. I was thinking, but I don't know who he is. I'd be tempted to move those. He's got really impressive clients, basically. So if it says with Bill Dewey's voiceover artist for, and then list of the clients, you'd immediately think, yes, that's what the header is, where people look to decide whether they're actually on the right site. Am I on the right place here? So next, it's got home, about us, Bill, products, coaching, events, resources, contact, blog. One thing is that so many site owners forget that in usability tests, the visitors do read the navigation bar, and often, I'm not sure if it's the case with this site, but often, I wouldn't be surprised if Bill was with us now if he would say, oh, don't click on any of those things, I want you to read below. So it might just be that removing the navigation bar immediately stops people from getting lost in all these other pages. It's not always the case, but certainly, it's surprising how often the site owner doesn't actually want someone clicking on the navigation bar.
Yeah, which we
moving it and by split testing it.
Which we don't. We want them, again, the goal here is give us your email address.
Yes, so again, I think you'd probably get a win. And again, split test it. Use a service like Visual Website Optimizely Visual Website Optimizer or Optimizely or Google Analytics Content Experiment.
Could you just list those real quick on the other sheet that you were using? Those three that you just mentioned on your pages.
Yes, I will do. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do this.
Optimizely, yeah.
So Visual Website Optimizer, Optimizely, and Google Analytics /Analytics. And next, exclusive voiceover training. Discover 7 key secrets to building a 6-figure voiceover income. Exclusive voiceover training. Yes. And then people click that. I need to watch this video, don't I? seconds in, and this is quite common, I'd be tempted to remove the first 8 seconds of that. Or basically, people lose attention upsettingly quickly with video. So I'd be tempted to start there, actually.
Yep.
Get into the voiceover business. Good. You have definitely come to the right place. Welcome to voice-over-training.org. I'm Bill Dewey, and I am not coming to you today from a TV studio or a video production set or somebody else's recording studio. This is actually my very own recording studio, which is in my very own home, where I recorded projects for Warner Brothers and Sears, National Geographic, American Express, Whirlpool, John Deere, Frito-Lay, and thousands of others. And your voiceover journey can begin right now by simply filling in the little box here on the webpage and downloading my free audio program, 7 Steps to a 6-Figure Voiceover Income. It hasn't always been this way. For me, a little over 5 years ago, I was downsized from my corporate job. I had a wife, 3 kids to support, and honestly, I did not know what my next move was going to be. I just knew that I needed to generate income, and I needed to do it quickly. And I had a dream. I had had a dream for a number of years to get into the voiceover business, but life and work and just busy with everything really kept me from pursuing that dream. Also, really not sure.
I'm not sure. Should I watch all of this, Fred? That's a tricky thing with. I should watch it all. Okay, I'll
I think so.
Knowing exactly, but here I was being downsized, and I had the time and certainly had the motivation to go out and get it done and to figure it out. So that's exactly what I did, and I used the business knowledge that I had acquired, the experience over the years, as being a successful business person and marketer, applied it to my voiceover business. Within 12 months, I was consistently generating over $2,000 a week in income from my voiceover business. That's over $2,000 a week. That is a 6-figure voiceover income. And the good news was it didn't stop there. For every year since starting over 5 years, my income has continued to grow. So not only was it a good income, but it was a sustainable business model that has allowed my business to continue to grow. And speaking of business models, one of the big gaps in the voiceover industry is an outdated business model that many people teach and people follow that says talent equals success. In other words, if you only get good enough, if you're a good enough performer, then that in turn will automatically mean that you will be successful and you will make good money as a voiceover talent. And nothing could be further from the truth. And there are thousands of voiceover talent that will testify to that fact, many that I consult with on a regular basis. Certainly, you have to be good. And I love working with voiceover talent to develop the skill set so that they can take that to the marketplace. But the second half of the equation is you have to have the business knowledge and the marketing knowledge and the business savvy to be able to take your skill and to monetize them and turn that into a sustainable income. Now, does it require an MBA to do that kind of thing? No, absolutely not. These are skills, this is knowledge that can be learned, and certainly that you can learn. And again, that journey begins right now by filling in the little box here on the website and downloading my free program that is jam-packed with actionable information. 7 steps to a 6-figure voiceover income. I look so forward to being your voiceover coach and mentor on your road to voiceover success. I wish you all the best.
Well, that video is good. It does a lot of things well. Did you? Am I right in guessing that you helped him with that then?
I did, and the thing that we discovered is that when we had this site set up a little bit differently, that video and an opt-in box was converting at close to 15%.
Yes.
But I think that you're right, and maybe now we've put it into this different sort of housing that allows people, the navigation bars, to click away. So, I mean, I'm curious. I think the video itself, minus the 10 seconds up front, which again, I agree with you, we should remove. Minus that, it's pretty good at getting people to opt in. But is there any comments you'd have on, say, the bullet points, those 3 checkmark bullet points, or anything else that we could do to improve other than taking out the navigation bar?
I would say just one thing while I remember is as I was scrolling down this page, do be aware that if someone's listening to the video but scrolling on the page, the second that they click on a link, then the video will stop, and then they'll be lost to the rest of the site. So it might just be, for that reason, either removing that content from the page or removing the link, so there's nothing that each one of these is a nuke button. We've got an article on our site about nuke buttons, about basically links that are there that actually kill the conversion. If someone clicks on one of these things now, they will actually the video will reset and they'll probably not come back.
I wonder if there's
one thing to consider.
Karl, is there something that can be put on the site to make all links inactive for a period of time and then allow them to be active? So if we knew the video ran 340, we would go 340 timing on no links active?
Not that I know. No, it's an intriguing idea. The next one was, what are the main reasons people don't sign up here? Is it, I imagine that let's think, one of them is that Bill sounds so professional and he comes across so well that I wonder whether people might think, maybe I could be a voiceover artist. Then they see this video, see Bill looking so incredibly professional, and think, I'm not sure if I could do that. Not just for the business side, but also for for sounding that good. And just one thing I know with so many information products, when you survey visitors to find out why they aren't converting, one of the biggest objections is not that they don't believe that the product's good, but that they don't have the confidence in themselves. They're confident in the product, but they're not confident in themselves and their own ability. So that's one thing. Is I suspect one big objection is people getting to this page, watching Bill, and thinking, I'm not like him. He seems too good. Maybe this isn't right for me.
How do we overcome that?
Anything, ways of it. I think often it's by explaining to the person that so often these things can be taught, and I'm sure Bill has so many different techniques. Bill, much as he always had the raw ability, probably didn't always sound as good as that, and also didn't and also probably doesn't sound like that in real life, because he has a proper studio with compression on his mic and things. I guess one thing would be if he has testimonials from normal people who've signed up and are now earning money from it. That would be really valuable. Or any proof that basically, I've no doubt that Bill is good at this and can make money from it. But any proof that people who visit this page actually, do you have any evidence that Bill does take people who are, reasonably talented and successfully makes money for them, successfully transforms them into successful voiceover coaches? That's, I guess, if I had to guess, without doing the Kiss Insights or the Koala Roo survey, where I'd guess that would be one of the biggest opportunities, would be providing proof that normal people who don't have, foam like a padded cell around them and don't have, Bill's natural voice or whatever, that normal people can actually develop these skills and make money from it.
Where would you put those testimonials? Within the video? Somewhere else?
I'd embed them in the video to break it up. I think it would be a really nice way of breaking up the video.
Yeah, so he's got some people who have given him video testimonials at his seminars. So let him talk for a little while, break it up with a testimonial, let him talk for a little while, break it up with a testimonial. So have maybe 3 people giving quick snippets of how Bill has helped them.
Exactly, and people who don't seem like superhero voiceover people either, because I imagine so many of these people sound right when they're in the right studio with the right compression and the right mics and after having had the right training. But I think people who don't seem dauntingly impressive.
Perfect. Yeah, so those should be embedded. Yep.
and then get my free audio report. That's the other thing. Is it quite obvious what that means? Is that like there's something slightly jarring about what an audio report is? I'm not quite sure what I would do, how I would word it, but even would it be a free recording, a free 20-minute recording or something like that? Audio report just kind of slightly jars as to not knowing what I'm actually going to get there, or whether I'd even know how to play it. Need voiceover training, get your free audio report. Discover where the best voiceover opportunities are today. Learn whether or not you really need an agent to succeed. Uncover the number one criterion for selecting your voiceover coach. Uncover the number one criterion for selecting your voiceover, or for the coach. And again, those bullet points are okay, but are they the killer bullets? Are they the things that people would say, yes, that's exactly what I came here looking for? So again, a good idea would be to run
a split
survey on the site asking people why they came today, to find out the real reasons they came, especially because we've not really talked about the traffic and what they searched for. So it's finding out who the people are, why they're visiting, and what the main reasons are they came for, and then checking that those bullet points actually coincide with the main reasons that they came. And maybe they are exactly. Maybe the number one question in people's mind is, do I need an agent to succeed? And the other two questions, they're thinking, well, where are the opportunities and how do I choose a voiceover coach? But it might just be that they really aren't the things they're looking for, and that there's a mismatch between the visitor intention and the actual offer. So I think that would be another way where you might just get a huge increase just by spotting any discrepancies between what you're offering and what people are looking for.
And Karl, from what you said, going back to something else, then, given what you just said there, along with what you said earlier with regards to the clients, you would move the clients, like all of those logos that we have there from famous clients, up into the header, right, maybe next to the right of his image, his face and head and shoulder shot there, in that blank area.
Exactly, yes. Just people arrive there, and if it's voiceover training with Bill Dewey's America's number one voiceover coach, and then I think that would also help to establish credibility immediately.
So
much as the header looks nice, but it still makes me think, who's Bill?
So to the right of his image there.
To the right. I wouldn't put anything to the right of his image. I think it would all need to fit somewhere in that area. The width of the page, somewhere between there and there.
Oh, so I mean, I was just thinking.
There's a lot of space in there.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Good tips.
If you moved with Bill Dewey's up to the top here, voice training with Bill Dewey's, America's number one voice training coach, and Bill's clients, and then because that could be small, Bill's clients, and they could be just kind of squeezed in along the bottom row here. I think it would just mean a designer shuffling those things around to make them all fit in the header.
That sounds good to me. I think that's a great idea.
That's great, and I'd say that the main thing that's missing from this page overall is this page is it's the client stuff. It's the proof that I believe that Bill's successful, but I need the proof that Bill is like is the guy who transforms people who transforms people's careers, because that's what he's selling really. It's not he's selling the voiceover lifestyle. He's selling the fact that he can show people how to do all of the different things. So I can teach you. If you don't need an incredible voice, to do this. You don't need to be amazing, but you do need to know how to set up the equipment right. You do need to know how to get clients. You need to know how to improve your voice and how to improve the way you sound. and I can show you how to do all of these. Or and just a thought is there any way that the carrot that the offer could be an evaluation rather than just fill in your name and email address? Because could it be that people are arriving at the site and thinking, but am I deluded to think I could do this? I like the idea, but really, some people will have huge confidence and arrive at this thinking, yeah, I can do this. I'm amazing. I've got a beautiful voice. But I wonder whether the most appealing call to action would somehow be to fill in your email address, and we'll send you a form where you can record your voice, and we'll tell you whether we think you have the potential.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea as well.
Yeah, because I suspect that's one of the biggest objections is people arriving thinking, not sure if I'm good enough for this. So any way of answering that for them would, that's the conversation that's already going on in their head. So if you could address that, then that might be by far the biggest opportunity.
Now, Karl, before we leave this site, let me just give you one final thought here. This homepage was put together by someone who is an SEO person in order to get the greatest number of people coming to the site. Do we need to throw out all of that in favor of getting people to do what we want them to do when they get here? In other words...
No, definitely not. No. The first thing is to see what you're actually ranking for. To use a tool like SEO Moz tools to actually, or any kind of SEO tools, but to find out what you're ranking for.
We know what we're ranking for.
Okay, so yes, you don't want to damage that, but don't forget. I think the first thing we always do is design the page for the visitors. Design the page that will actually convert, and then if you find that there's a discrepancy between that and what you actually need to rank for or want to rank for, then think of how you could do that. Usually, we hardly ever find that. We almost always find that once we've designed the page that we ideally want, that's actually consistent with what the page is ranking for.
Got it.
For obvious reasons, really, because if we're actually giving people what they searched for, then it's usually using the same words. Usually, good conversion normally ties in with what the person was searching for in the first place.
Makes sense.
If there are problems with that, one thing you can do is to stick headlines in images, because then Google's blind to them anyway. So just being aware that you could, for example, if you decided that you really didn't want the word "free audio report" on this page, then you could always just turn that into an image, and then Google doesn't spot it anyway, and so you don't need to worry about the SEO side as long as you've got the right text on the page in the right places in the headings. But
gotcha.
I wouldn't worry too much about. Only worry about that when it comes to it, because normally things are all fine.
Sounds good. I like it. Should we move
on?
It's
a little bit like when I saw a documentary about how they built the stealth bomber, and the workflow for designing the stealth bomber was firstly the engineer said, look, firstly design it. We want the designs for making it stealthy, so that it's invisible to radar, and then whatever shape you come up with, we'll make it fly.
Right.
And that was actually how it was designed. And I'd say it's the same thing round. First design for conversion, and then pass it over to the SEO person who can do whatever needed to make it rank. But usually that's just, usually that's straightforward. Right, next one.
Yeah.
Speaking expert. This is another one of your clients, Fred.
Yeah, well, I had to take advantage of it this one.
You?
Yep.
No, it's good. It's good. It means you know lots about the client, which is great.
Yes.
So, speaking expert, showing speakers at any level how to speak better, make more money, and have more fun. Speakers at any level how to speak better, make more money, and have more fun. So that's a good summary of what the site does. Where's the... I'll continue reading in a moment, but certainly by this stage, I haven't seen any evidence that the person who owns the site is an expert, but I'm guessing that will come. Exclusive public speaking training. Master the 2 simple keys to success in a speaking business. Click play to watch a special message from Fred and Arvish. Master the 2 simple keys to success in a speaking business. And I'll watch that now, should I?
I guess.
Hi, folks. Welcome to SpeakingExpert.com. I'm Fred Gleeck, and I'm a media partner. And we're happy to welcome you to explain a little bit about my background. First, before we get started, I've been speaking professionally for over 25 years, and I've developed a system to make sure you maximize your income professionally. And I have been speaking for about 8 years now, and I've been performing and teaching improv comedy for 20. And what I focus on is how you use improv and work on your communication skills. And both of us work with speakers on business and speaking issues. And what we have for you, what we want you right now is take a look right over there. We've got 2 free giveaways you can sign up. Number 1 is a special report called 6-Figure Speaker Secrets. Learn the 7 steps to generating paid speaking gigs in the next 90 days or less. That's going to take you step by step what you need to do to start getting paid now. Will dramatically help you in your career. Absolutely. And because 90 days might seem too long, we also have a bonus MP3 that comes with that. How you can start making real money by giving free speeches in the next 30 days. So you can turn those free speeches into revenue. I've used really well before. Yes, the box is right there. Sign up for it. You'll get both of those downloads instantly. Get them now. They're free. Samuel, please do.
That's good.
You like that?
Yes, yes. And yeah, and it's something that you've got loads of experience with. So I'm guessing that that there's a lot of good content behind this. With what are the main reasons people actually? Firstly, how are people finding this site, and what's their intention when they arrive?
I think that there's, again, 2 primary means. They're finding us via the search engines, and or they're being directed there by us with people that are on our list, etc.
Yes, and are they? Do you know? Does this say what they want to hear? Does this address what they're? This is all about getting started, and are they people who are interested in getting started?
Yeah,
Or is that
primarily.
where the money's coming from, the beginners.
Yeah, it's primarily the people who are not speaking experts already or getting paid to speak.
Got it. Yes. And are there? One thing I guess similar to the last page is to bear in mind: are they knowledgeable? No. Are they confident in their own ability to speak? Do they look at you and Avish and think, oh, but that guy, these guys are really expert at this. I don't know if I could do it. Do they?
No, I'd say most of them
feel confident.
I'd say most of them probably think they can speak. They're just confused about how to go about doing it.
Okay, that's great. So it's not that people are thinking, oh, I could never stand up in front of an audience. It's more that they think they'd be good at this, but they just don't know how to get paid for it.
That's correct. That'd be my guess.
So that's yes. And again, there really isn't any harm in surveying people on the page, just because if that guess is wrong, then it's an expensive guess. So yeah, I would recommend having some on-page survey like the Koala Roo one, just to ask what, even if just for a few hours you ask, or however long it takes to get 20 or 30 responses. If you ask what's your biggest question about speaking, and just see why they're here. Is this? Are you paying for traffic at the moment, or is it SEO, Fred?
SEO.
Okay. One thing that's sometimes useful as well is to stick a phone number on the site. If you stuck a phone number on there and said, any questions, phone this number, you could have the phone number up there for as long as you can be bothered to answer calls. But again, if you wanted to be able to, I mentioned before about how it's hard to design a web page unless you can sell face to face. If you put a phone number on there, you'd be able to instantly start selling face-to-face, over the phone to the person, one-on-one, and then you'd quickly, what you learned from those calls would quickly inform the copy that should be on the page. People will be asking questions that startle you as to how different they are from what you were expecting, and then it all goes to like adding to the page. Another one that's good is I've not mentioned it yet. I've not gone into loads of detail with these tools but I mentioned on the last call about how we've got experts.com/ I think it's understanding your visitors. Understanding-your-visitors.com.
I think it's .htm rather than .com.
.com? What am I doing? Sorry. /.
.htm probably, or?
That works.
Yeah.
Just while I'm talking about that, OLARC is great for live chat. And so is Snap Engage. That's another nice one. We are online. Give it a try. Snap Engage actually has a nice little picture. It looks quite personal there. I think OLARC has the same feature. So you can see how that works. I'm sure they won't mind if I abandon now. So they're really great ways of finding out more about the visitors. And we've got an article here that I mentioned on the last call, Fred, about 15 tools that reveal why customers abandon your website. And so here's quite a lot of tools that we use to find out. ClickTail's good for click mapping, and Ethneo's good for inviting. Actually, yeah, I'll mention Ethneo now. Ethneo's good because it's a pop-up survey that allows you to recruit participants for usability tests. So what that means is that you can quite easily, let's hope that they've got one on their homepage. It's just a little screener that you can put on your homepage or on any page, and it. Are they going to invite me? Yeah, it'll show it here, I think. And you can basically interview people to actually to have a phone call with you. So if you want to ask questions, you can interview visitors. All it is basically an invitation for them to participate in a 15-minute screen sharing interview where you call them up, screen share with them, and then they can show you, what they do on your site and where they're getting lost and all that kind of thing. So that can be really useful as well. Okay,
Very
go back
good.
to the page.
Yep.
So, and all these tools are great because, I mentioned about how so much of the problem that sites have with conversion isn't that people don't know all these techniques and how to write killer headlines and, hundreds of different headline formulae and hundreds of different ways of presenting an offer and copywriting tips and all that kind of thing. But the big gap is always in not actually not giving people what they want and not understanding what their people's objections are. So the more you can turn this into a one-on-one exercise in understanding real visitors. That's where the big opportunities are. It's understanding the real visitors and what they like about your page. In which case, if there's something here that they love, down here, if there's text down here which is the real reason they're converting, you have to move that above the fold and amplify that. And also, if there are reasons for putting people off, you need to either get rid of those reasons or overcome those objections. So much of it is in terms of getting real with the actual reasons people aren't converting at the moment.
So now you might actually put a phone number right up there in the banner that says "Call now for an instant assessment."
Exactly. Yes, and we do that quite often. Especially, I think on a previous call you asked about what to do when when someone's starting up and they haven't got the large amount of traffic to A/B split tests. They haven't got the luxury of having 10,000 visitors a day to be able to split test. Not that you need that many, but the sites that have huge amounts of numbers of visitors, they have a great advantage because they can split test everything. Whereas if you've only got, say, 10 visitors a day because you're a startup, then yeah, phone numbers, live chat, any opportunity possible to speak with real visitors is just really valuable.
Yeah, I agree. So in other words, in both of these cases, for this site, speakingexpert.com, and for voice-over-training.org, both of them are under 500 visitors, I think, a week.
Exactly. So you wouldn't want to be split testing. Yeah, you really need to focus all your energies on however you can on actually intercepting real visitors, and the good thing is it means you get to speak with them or communicate with them. You can help them out. You can, by speaking with them face to face, or not face to face, but one on one over the phone, you can really help them out, and you very quickly learn what they need. You very quickly become much more empathic because you know exactly what they want, what they're interested in, what they aren't, and all that kind of thing. And don't forget, if you use a service like join.me or GoToMeeting, then when you're speaking with them, you can also share screens with them, and they can point out parts of the site that they like, and they can tell you what they would change about the site, for example. So Join Me is very popular. It's quite a new screen sharing tool, and it's really easy for the remote person to set up. So it's very popular with people who do remote user tests.
Yeah, and so now this is a threat to the GoToMeeting folks?
This one's join.me, and GoToMeeting is gotomeeting.com.
Oh no, I understand, but it's a threat, meaning it's a better and cheaper alternative.
I don't know about price. I don't know about price.
Okay.
I think Join Me might be cheaper, but ultimately, yeah, either of them is good for the job. And as far as the reasons people don't convert on this page, Fred, are there any others?
Not that I can think of, but I like the idea of, in this case, putting both the phone number and an opportunity for people to do a live chat, right?
Yes. I think both of those will be really useful for you. The appearance of this page, people increasingly, the words are more important than anything, but I would say the actual appearance of a page does influence people's perception of what the page is. With this page, you might just find that the fact that the banners, the header's a bit too wide for the page, and unless that's just because I'm using Opera, I don't think it is.
No, I think that was actually intentional.
The header's too wide. Okay, yeah. It depends how you want to be perceived, I guess, with things like this, and this look, this info product kind of these designs are.
Go ahead and say it. What would you?
Some users have been it's not wrong, and in some markets it's still effective, but increasingly, a lot of people have been burned by sites that look like this, and so increasingly, quite a few info marketers are moving towards more credible looking sites, less hypey and more authoritative designs. But again, that's not. I don't want to kind of. I don't want to rule out this kind of image altogether because there are still lots of businesses being extremely successful with this.
If you were to
tell you what it is.
Yeah. If you were to change it, give me some specifics.
I would give it to a really good graphic designer who would just make it look nicer looking and more professional. That's Mind Valley Labs. Do you know Mind Valley Labs? I mentioned Philosopher's Notes to you actually.
Yes, Philosopher's Notes. Yeah.
Private call a few weeks ago tonight. But yeah, Mind Valley Labs are extremely professional, good marketers who work with publishers to publish information, and they, for example, on this page they've given it a very kind of it looks almost like Apple's website, doesn't it? And I'm not saying that this site would always outperform a site that had more of a you had the kind of red headlines and things, but certainly it depends on what people are, the prospects are looking for and what you want your image to be. And sometimes if you're portraying your image to be highly successful speaker to for business people to learn how to do speaking, then you want to have like the kind of image that they'd be looking for. And similarly, if you're looking for like a more internet marketing kind of biz op style, then maybe the kind of the more excitable style like this Clayton Makepeace and writes a lot of this kind of style for the biz op market and the like opportunity seekers. So I'm not saying that this is not the right image, but it's just worth being aware that there are different types of image that work in different types of situations.
Gotcha. Any other final comments on this one?
Without knowing what's hidden inside, I'm guessing if I was to read the course, the six-figure speaker secrets, that I'd learn more. I guess just one thing to change this all together is that this is one business model. The entry page, squeeze, get people's contact details with a big bonus. That's one business model, but just not to forget that our site, for example, yes, we have the lead gen element, but we also have a lot of content and get a lot of attention by giving away lots of content free, so people don't have to sign up for it. And that a lot of sites, I mentioned SEO Moz actually. SEO Moz.
Click on free stuff
for.
Go back to the site and click on free stuff and tell me if that's what you're thinking.
Oh, okay.
Speaking the next one over, I think.
The free stuff.
Speaking expert. It's the next tab between the two of those. There you go. Free stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there must be a bit of a lag. Yeah, it's still loading up at the moment. But that's just one thing to bear in mind is that there are a lot of sites that are successful. But basically there's different levels. In the same way that you wouldn't want to charge someone $10,000 on the first visit because you have to kind of step it up. Then similarly, even asking for contact details and an email address is some commitment. So often having a lot of free content that people genuinely pass to friends, really valuable content that people pass to friends that you've kind of created masterpieces and then given them away for free. A little bit like I'm not saying ours is a masterpiece, but maybe I will. Yeah, it's a masterpiece. This article, 15 Tools to Reveal Why Potential Customers Abandon Your Website, is incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
I can't stress how valuable this article is. This article alone is. We know a lot of people who come to us and say, "Oh, that article, I've used all the tools on it, and it's transformed my business."
Yep.
There's more useful information in this article than there are in many books, and we could have chosen to put this in a PDF and hidden it behind a squeeze page, but we decided that by putting not loads but a small amount of content on the site, and by making it free, people link to it, people pass it round, people know us and like us and sign up to, not necessarily on the first visit, but also they discover this content and they get linked to, and then once they start to trust us and like us, then they sign up. So that's just one level of, that's one level to consider as well. And we only blog about, what is it? I know in the last couple of years we've averaged about 7 blog posts per year. I think we're doing a bit better this year, but we don't create a huge amount of content, but a small amount of really valuable content is a good way of doing things.
Yeah.
It's our way, it's our approach.
I like it. I've always liked the way you guys have done it. So, I mean, I think that we've now covered those 3 sites, and now, Karl, maybe what we should do is to do something for attracting some people for you.
Oh, fantastic! Yes.
Let's let me just stop this ScreenFlow video and start another one.